Hey guys, how's it going? This is Paul from Twin Flicks, a film channel for film lovers like yourself. Today we have a video that was actually requested by a lot of viewers, but especially requested by our Patreon supporter Bob Logan, and we are going to discuss Black Panther.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons.
The movie takes place after the events of Civil War, and T'Challa returns to Wakanda to take his father's place on the throne as king. But soon he finds his kingship and the future of his people and Wakanda is threatened by Killmonger. Marvel did an excellent job with the movie itself. I really like the way they took the movie in this direction, where it wasn't just action and blowing stuff up or fighting aliens in a city. Instead, they take it in a totally different direction, where it's really a deeply personal film. We see how T'Challa struggles with his new responsibilities after his father's death as becoming the new king of Wakanda, along with finding out that his father was not the perfect man or king that T'Challa thought he was, and how he deals with all these different things coming down on him at once. Now, honestly, I don't know how much of this is due to Ryan Coogler's writing and direction, but based off his last two films, I'm guessing he had a lot of influence taking this movie in that direction. Ryan Coogler is just an exceptional director. When he was announced that he was helming this movie by Disney, we were very excited to see what Coogler would do with Black Panther. Now, that's not to say everything in this film is directed perfectly, which I'll be getting into later.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
What I loved, though, was seeing Wakanda finally on the big screen for the first time. Now, Wakanda is a massive city and also the wealthiest and most technologically advanced city in the world because of vibranium that crashed there. Vibranium is everywhere. The Wakandas, they mine it and use it in everything. They use it in their buildings, in their currency, in their infrastructure. They use it for health benefits and healing people. They even use it to bring people back from the dead. And a lot of this right now where this movie takes place is due to the fact of T'Challa's sister, who we really loved in this movie. I absolutely love this character, and she's played by Letitia Wright, which did a brilliant job, and really she took the place of Tony Stark and Banner in this film. And I've got to say, one of the best parts of this movie is the villain played by Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger. This has got to be the best villain out of the entire MCU, at least so far. What makes a great villain is when the audience, you as a viewer, can agree or understand why he's doing what he's doing. And I love that about this movie. Killmonger wants to take the vibranium and use it to stop poverty, to stop governments at war with each other, to bring the world together. But what Killmonger also wants to do is use that vibranium to rule and dominate over the world, and Black Panther ain't having any of that.
We own ya, we own ya, we only getting started now, cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now, cause we own ya. You and I'm a homie, yeah.
Also, what we really liked was how they showed the culture of Wakanda, how they mixed the advanced city, the futuristic technology that they use, along with their heritage culture. That was really cool. They blended that together. But I have to say that there's also a snag, a big problem with that, which I'm going to get into later. Another part that I absolutely loved in this movie was the casino brawl. The way that it was shot was terrific and reminded me how Coogler shot the boxing scene in the Krieg one take, long take scene, which was absolutely brilliantly done. And he did the same thing with this casino brawl scene. It also had a real kind of James Bondish feel to it, which I loved, as T'Challa and his bodyguards infiltrate this casino, and then the fight breaks out, and honestly, I personally think it was the best part of the movie. Another huge part of the movie that really stood out for us was the fantastic score composed and conducted by this guy. The composer went to Africa for a few months to learn about the culture of Africa and use that for the score. Andy Serkis, I loved him, and the chemistry between Killmonger and Andy Serkis was great. I absolutely loved it. It was just a little sad when he died. And the ending, T'Challa agreeing with Killmonger that yes, Wakanda does need to spread out the wealth and the technology and share it with the world, and he opens a school in the projects of LA, was absolutely perfect. I absolutely loved that. It was a great, perfect ending to this film.
Now it is time to show the outside world who we are.
The revolution will not be televised.
Everybody think they know me now. Don't be scary, cause we own now. We own now.
Now, all that being said, there were quite a few things that we didn't really like about the movie, and honestly, there's more that we didn't like about it than what we did like about it.
You suck.
I know. How's that possible? I don't know. But it happens. I wish it didn't, but it does. One big thing that Simon and I didn't like about this movie, and I've actually heard other people talk about this too, going back to what I said about mixing the two cultures together, it was a cool idea and I like seeing it. However, when a new king is crowned, it's a tribal custom to challenge his right to rule, challenge him to his death. Which means whoever wins, the bodyguards and the people of Wakanda have to just blindly serve that person, whoever he is. Killmonger, they know this guy is not a good guy. They know he's vengeful. They know he's evil. In fact, they found out he killed hundreds of innocent people in Desert Storm. They know exactly who he is. Yet when he challenges T'Challa and wins, they have to just serve him. Just like, okay, well, I guess you're king now, so we'll serve you. Now, I understand why they did this. His bodyguard says that we don't serve the king, we serve the crown. So yeah, I get it. I understand why they did this. Here's the thing. When a civilization grows and becomes more advanced, so does its society. It advances with that city. And we've actually have a couple friends from Africa. I believe they're from Ghana. We were talking about this the other day, and they actually said the exact same thing. They loved seeing the tribal aspect of the movie because that is their culture, that's their heritage, that's what they're born and raised with. But they said the exact same thing, that they didn't like the tribal challenge part because it didn't mix right. It didn't make any sense to them. The people would advance along with the advancements and they wouldn't continue doing this challenging. So, I mean, it just kind of proves my point. Another thing too is that nobody really stood up to Killmonger or defined him or his right to rule. They just kind of said, okay, whatever, you killed T'Challa, so I guess we're serving you now. I mean, the perfect example of this is in the cavern scene where he tells the people to burn it all. Forrest Whitaker does stand up to him at this point, and then Killmonger kills him. And then the people just burn it afterwards. No one else refuses or goes up against him or walks away. All they gotta do is walk away. I mean, sure, they may be scared that Killmonger will kill them, but at least they stood up for what they believed in, and they defied him. I think that what would have been a cooler idea is they refuse to burn it down. He kills Forrest Whitaker and he says, burn this down now. They still refuse. They stand up to him. Killmonger gets angry, grabs the torch himself, burns down everything himself, showing his strength, and that if you defy me and you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to do it anyways. That would have been more emotionally impactful, that he's taking this away from these people. It would have shown that these people aren't just blindly serving this evil guy.
Be televised.
Everybody think that we only getting started. 'Cause we on now.
Now, another thing that I personally really disliked about this movie, and I still have a big problem with in this movie, is, okay, first of all, the action scenes in Civil War where Black Panther was introduced. He was this kick-butt fighter. You knew he meant business. He was fluent in mixed martial arts, hand-to-hand combat. He knew how to fight. In Black Panther, it's like every time he fights, he keeps falling down, gets beat up, and his bodyguards have to run and keep rescuing him. It's like, okay, did you forget how to fight between Civil War and arriving to Wakanda? And going back to the casino brawl, which again, I absolutely loved, then it goes into this car chase scene, which I honestly did not love, and it felt out of place with the way they did it. The effects looked really bad. It looked really cartoonish. In fact, there were some people in the theater that were laughing at it. That's not a good sign. And while I'm talking about the special effects, the ending, oh my gosh, the rhinos, the battle rhinos, it looked so bad. I mean, this is a $200 million plus budgeted movie. They could have done better with the special effects. Black Panther, T'Challa, and Killmonger are falling down into the underground subway. They're bouncing off of walls, bounces off the subway car and falls to the ground. It just looked really cartoonish and really bad. It looked like even a cut, maybe a bad cut scene from a video game from back in the late 90s, early 2000s. When you compare the effects from previous Marvel movies, say Civil War or even the new Thor Ragnarok, they all had amazing special effects that looked fairly realistic. I don't know what happened here. It's just weird. Even though I enjoyed the movie, like I said, a lot of it also felt very boring to me. Simon didn't really feel this way about the movie. He wasn't as bored with it as I was. One big reason for this is because he's now invincible. His sister reconstructs his suit with vibranium threaded through it that basically made him completely impenetrable or invincible. So as soon as I heard that, I completely checked out because I didn't care. I didn't care about his character anymore. I didn't feel anything for him. I didn't feel that he could be in danger. I didn't think he could get hurt or die during these intense action scenes. And what's funny is I kept thinking, going back to The Dark Knight, Lucius Fox rebuilt Bruce Wayne's batsuit to be more impenetrable. However, it still had weaknesses. And that's one thing that I wish they could have done or would have done in this movie. Sure, reconstruct his suit, make it look awesome, put vibranium through it, but give something where you still feel a threat towards his life. And that's really it. Overall, I did like the movie. I know that the things that we didn't like about the movie are not major things. They're not, I mean, they're really kind of personal, just nitpicks of ours that we had problems with the movie. Overall, I did like the movie. We loved the direction Coogler took Black Panther as a character going on this emotional journey. We loved Killmonger, one of the best villains in the MCU so far. But again, I'm just really conflicted because there's a lot of stuff we didn't like about the movie, but there's a lot of stuff we actually really did like about the movie. So I think with all that, we're going to be giving Black Panther a 3 out of 5. Well guys, I want to hand this video over to you right there watching this video. Let me know in the comment section, what did you think of Black Panther? If you agree with our analysis of Black Panther, and also what is your favorite MCU movie? Anyways guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any video requests, any movies you would like us to review on this channel, let us know in the comments section or send me an email. Either way, I'll get it. Special shout out to our Patreon supporters. Thanks so much for your support. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Or wait, we'll see you in the future. Yeah, you know it.